So, first of all, I washed my hands thoroughly. I shifted my handband so that it will not interfere. I washed my hands, my nails, everything, making sure that my hands are neat. Then I whisked my egg. Now, if you noticed, I used a fork because I don't have the whisk. I'm not a baker. I just needed for home use. So I used a fork, 2 eggs. This is my flour, already measured. That's powdered milk. My sugar, already whisked egg. My baking powder, my milk. That's my milk. I'm using pig milk, tin milk, and my butter. Now I got a clean bowl. I turned in my flour, like 3 cups of flour. Next, I put my powdered milk. I'm making sure everything powder goes in first. Then I put my sugar. I didn't really want it too sweet. I have a particular taste at the back of my mind. And then I put in a pinch of salt to have that salt sugar solution. That's what I needed. Then I put in my nutmeg. I didn't show you that earlier, but I always put nutmeg. Now, I wanted to put again because that was not enough for me. Then I put my baking powder. That spoon you're seeing there is like 5 mils measurement. So I use that to put the baking powder. This is so that it will rise and the chin chin will be much. Next, I now mixed everything together so that you will not be tasting one side salt, one side sugar. So I mixed everything together evenly, making sure I have a fine mixture of everything. Next, I put in my butter. Now I'm going into the wet things. I'm done with the dry things and I'm now going in with my wet things. So this is butter. I'm not putting much butter. I know some people don't use butter for their chin chin, but I just chose to use for mine since I'm eating at home, and I put in very little just to have that feel. Mhm. Then, as a Nigerian, of course, I have to press it all. Now I mix it, mix it. Now you can see some clumps. So I'm trying as much as possible to make sure I put the butter in every segment of my powdery mixture. Now I'm trying to make it even, as you can see, so that at least the butter will touch everywhere. Yeah. Now after doing that, you can see what we are having now. hmm That's it. We're getting it now. Perfect. I now go in with my eggs. Going with my eggs. If you watch, I'm going in with semi liquid and now liquid. The butter is like a paste, and now this is my egg. As I'm doing that, this is only 2 eggs, mind you, because I'm not making much. I just felt like eating ching ching, so I had to do this. Now, after putting the egg, after putting every liquid, everything that has water content, you have to just make sure you mix it evenly before you put any other one, just to know the quantity you will need. You can't just pour every liquid thing inside, otherwise you will spoil the mixture. So after doing that, I now went in with my liquid milk. This is peak, as you can see. I said that earlier, but you can choose to use any brand of your choice. This is just what I wanted to use at the point in time. Now after doing that, after putting that again, I still mix it. Now if you have the mixer, electric mixer, you can do that. But for me, I use my hands because I don't have that. So after doing that, I went in with water. I put in water and mixed. Take note, every liquid thing you put in, you mix. I mix. I observe that that water is not enough, so I have to put a little. Now, when you're putting your water, you don't put much. If you put it plenty, you end up spoiling the mixture. It will be too, gummy and all that. So that was all about the liquid. You just keep mixing, keep kneading it, rolling till you have the even mixture. Now I'm done. Next, I get my rolling board, a rolling pin, and this is the dough. If you notice, it has swollen a bit. That's the work of the baking powder. It's more like a yeast that helps the dough to rise. Now, I'm chopping it into four different parts, but you can cut it as much as you want. Now, I'm separating the other part so that I can handle one part at a time. Now, if you have a cutter and you can use it, but for me, I I'm just using what's available at home, a regular Nigerian home. Now, this is the first piece. I put my flour on the chopping board because so that it will not stick, and I keep rolling and rolling and rolling. Now, I roll it until it's very flat so that it can give me many pieces like of chin chin. I keep roll it until it's flat. Then at some point, after rolling, I will have to now turn it and roll again. Now, before doing that, I'll have to pour flour again so that it will not stick to the rolling board. I keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling it. And then you see it's getting bigger, wider. If you can see, that will give me many more pieces of chin chin. Now I use my knife. If you have a cutter, like I said, you can use the cutter. That will make it faster and easier. But for me, in a normal Nigerian home, if you don't have the cutter, you can do this. Just use your knife and also support it with your palm. Now, if you're doing this for commercial use, advisable you wear gloves or something decent, something clean like gloves. You're not using your bare hands. But this is for me for home consumption. Yes, so I have to do this. Now, that's my knife. I'm cutting it first into lines. This is taking time because it's a knife we are using. Now, if you're using the cutter, it will be faster. You just roll it across, roll it down, horizontal and vertical, and get what you want. Also, if you see the way I'm cutting it, it's not really slim. But if you want to make it for commercial purposes, you have to make it plenty. So you will not cut it as fat as this. Now it's time to chop it into bits. I'm chopping it into, you can chop it into the desired size, but if you make it too tiny, it might end up consuming a lot of oil, and it will make it, it will make it do be like should I say grains? That's how it will be, and you end up having a lot of flour inside your oil. So you try as much as possible not to make it too tiny and not to make it too big. Now you see me pouring flour on the rolling board because I don't want it to stick even when I'm cutting. I don't want them to stick together. Now that is it. That's the roll of the flour on the board. Now my beauty is ready. Now it's time to move to the fire. Come with me. All right. I turn the oil into the pot, and then I turn in my ching ching. There you go. Just put it there, it will scatter. You don't have to be putting one by one, just pour it in there. See, it's forming. You keep stirring, stirring, stirring. Don't leave it and go anywhere because if you do that, it might end up getting burnt. So you just keep stirring, stirring. You check the color. This is okay now. Try as much as possible not to make it too dark because when it's too dark, when the air touches it, it will get darker. So this is okay now. You take it out, put in a strainer so that And when you're taking it out, please endeavor to turn off the fire. Because if you don't turn off the fire, the remaining chin chin inside of there will keep burning. This is it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at the beauty. You can actually do this at home and enjoy yourself. Bye.